please welcome to the stage another one of our amazing performers, Temi.
Oh, yeah. I can see you unhappy with him. It could all be so easy, or so sad. I can just sit back and watch you go through this one. I can love you better, let me show you. Let me hold you. Thought I told you that things would be alright between me and you. You let me, you let it, just let me. I'm trying to build with you. We building this house of love. Oh, I trying to build with you. Oh, that I wanna do. This house of love. We building this house of love. True story, true story. Trying to build it up, 2 stories. No worries, no tornado ain't strong enough. The big bad wolf can huff and puff, but we gon' still be standing. We gon' still be standing. I've never felt the way I felt for you, baby. He's gonna let someone take you away from here. Try to take you away from here now. He don't treat you right, don't appreciate you right like I do. I know. You deserve much better, we gon' be me and you. If you let me, just let me in. I'm trying to build with you. We building this house of love. I'm trying to build with you. Turn this home and lust to a house of love. Now this would never work if there ain't no trust in it. Now that we got that down, maybe we should put a little love in it. Oh, girl, I promise to not let you down. Just give me a shot. I wanna try and build it up. We building this house of love. I'm trying to build with you. Trying to turn this to a house of love. Brick by brick by brick by brick. Just trying to build with you. Trying to build. Turn this home and lust to a house of love. Brick by brick, brick by brick by brick by brick. Luther gave the blueprint and now we building this house. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Temi, for that amazing performance right there. Now we're about to keep 100 with Cedric Pendelton.
Hi, this is Freddie Guignard, and welcome to Keep It 100. Now today we have Cedric Pendelton. Now, Mr. Cedric, you know, you're an actor and everything, right? So you're in the show business, right? So before you started acting, what was your job? What was your profession?
Before I got into acting, I was a computer salesman and programmer. I have a degree in computer science, and so I sold software to banks and lending institutions internationally. So that's what I did.
All right, all right. So, I mean, moving in computers to acting, I mean, when did you start thinking you wanted to be an actor?
Well, I mean, I wanted to, from the time that I was probably 17 years old. 17? There was a young lady that was in my life that asked me what did I want to do with my life.
Oh, boosted that confidence, huh?
Well, I mean, you know, she analyzed me. And so she made that suggestion, but my parents are educators, and to tell both my parents that I wanted to go be an actor.
Oh, it was difficult?
No, that wasn't going to fly.
Ah, okay,
So I went to school, got a degree in computer science, and 2 years after I was out of school, I saw a play. And that's when I realized that that's really what I wanted to do.
All right. So do you recommend that, you know, we should go and get our degree first before we start acting or pursuing a career in entertainment?
Most definitely. Education is always a key to anything. And there's two types of education that you can have. One is books. The other one comes from traveling. And so, yes, I recommend that you do have an education up under your belt.
All right. So when did you actually start, you know, your career in acting? Like, what was your first gig, or what did you start?
My first gig was a play. I spent 10 years on stage, and the first play that I did was a play called Stand Up Tragedy.
Okay.
Where I played a high school kid going off on adults.
Okay, and you know, you had to do an audition and everything, right?
I did.
So what were some qualities that they liked about you?
They didn't like me at all. I didn't get the role. What happened was they fired an actor, and they called me as a backup, and I went in and did what I do, and then found out that I had the capability to carry a show.
So it was like, you know, we just need this guy to fill in. But they saw you as a really good actor. No.
I was told prior to the show that I have the capability of becoming a great actor.
All right.
But
so
that took time.
That inspired you to, you know.
Made me work hard.
Made you work hard. Okay. So acting, I know it's like is it like physical stress or mental stress?
It's both.
Both?
Sure. Meaning that the only tool that an actor has is their body.
Right.
So there is a physicality that comes with the anxiety of learning lines and being prepared to do something on set with everyone watching. And then there's a mental stress when you don't get the job and yet you put all your energy into it and somebody tells you your head's too big, your nose is too fat, your teeth are too whatever, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's a mental stress as well as a physical stress.
All right. So, you know, what else? Do you feel like, do you get to meet like a lot of the other actors and like get to befriend them? Like what are some actors you know? Who are some actors you know?
What, are you trying to figure out if I know anybody famous? Is that the whole deal?
I'm just saying, you know, may want to talk to them too.
Yeah, I mean, you have an opportunity to hang around some really interesting people.
Right.
I've done projects with Fantasia, so Fantasia and I are cool.
All right, cool.
Loretta Devine and I are cool.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of people that I hang around that you would consider famous. But, I mean, it's just the nature of what we do. They're people.
All right, last question. What do you recommend for, you know, the people watching to, like, if they're trying to pursue a career in acting, what do you recommend them to do?
I recommend they follow their dream. And more so than that, to get education and to work. Prime example, the thing that I would say the most is Michael Jordan or any of the basketball players, they may have natural talent, but they go to practice every day.
Every day and work hard at it, every day.
And they're coached every time they go into the gym. So it's the same situation with an actor. You've got to you may have natural talent, but you still have to be coached and trained. All
right. So moral is, you know, work hard for your dreams and everything. You know, keep going, never stop. Thank you, Mr. Cedric.
You're welcome.
You know, and you should just stick around to talk to the pit crew in our little kickback. So this has been Freddie with Keep It 100.
All right, let's take it up a notch. Now, fellas, we can't just leave the ladies out of the discussion of acting. We're here with Deetta West and Cedric Pendelton, and they're gonna sit here and talk to us about how do you separate yourself from the acting world as in auditions from regular life?
Well, for me, I bring the truth of who I am even to an audition, and I make it, when we say making it our own, that's how it's comfortable for me to do my audition, because I do make it my own. And I guess there's not really a separation for me.
Okay.
I'm not trying to fake it till I make it. I have to be real so I can, the casting director will believe it, and whoever else is in the room I can make it believable.
Right. And what type of acting roles do you go for?
Those that pay.
All right. Anything specific, nothing specific?
I'm looking for characters that basically have hope in their through line. Everything that you've ever seen me play, there is some element of hope that I try to bring to that particular character. So for me, it's characters that call for that level of message of hope.
Okay. What is your intake on that?
On what they just said?
Yes.
Well, for me, I've never actually thought about becoming an actor or actress.
Right.
I guess it's like the mentality, like you have to be ready. You can't, you have, Jesus Christ, I'm stuttering.
So,
I can't.
would you say to be a better actor that you should stay in character even when you're not being recorded?
For me, it depends on the role. There's a movie that I actually played a thug in recently where, no, serious biz, and I went and spent time with an OG and lived in his house for 2 days to understand who he was. And so when I got to set and they were looking for me, we shot in a project, I actually blended in with the people that lived there. So for me, I walked and talked and acted and felt and did the whole thing. I wouldn't come out of it until it was the end of day because it gave an authentic element to it. That's just me. I mean, I don't know how else to do it except, as she has eloquently put it, except to throw myself into the role and bring truth to it. So that's essentially what I did.
For me, I've been very fortunate to be cast in a lot of the roles that it's who I am. Most people that know me affectionately call me Mama D. And I get cast into roles where I'm mother, someone who's nurturing, the nurturing wife. So it's the grandmother. So it's who I am every day. So I'm thrown into that because I am a wife, I am a mother, and I am a granny. But I could be fly too if you just put, you know, you can throw me into something fly. I can go there too, and I've done some of those roles, but it always kicks back to that. So, you know, you just have to make it.
Now, is it harder for you as an African-American woman to get roles than somebody of the opposite race?
Well, it's pretty much always been that way, but I cannot, when I say always, because I've been around, I've been in the industry for almost 40 years, and so, yes, I have Cedric.
Well, thank you.
So that's a whole nother discussion, and yes, it is a challenge, but I can't dwell on that. I have to go in and do that audition and pop it the best way I know, and to continue to hone my skills and continue to just pray and pray for the favor of God to just drop that character, that role on me, because what's for me is going to be for me. I'm not stupid. I do know that there are challenges there, but I can't get caught up in it.
Now, y'all, as in students, do y'all think acting is, you know, do you just automatically have to be an actor, or does it take hard work, practice?
To me, it's something you can learn. Some people, it's with anything, some people are blessed with the natural talent. Like, for instance, I run track. Some kids on the team just naturally fast. But, you know, it's a thing of hard work beats talent.
Right.
You have to work it. I mean, some people don't have it. If you don't have it, you got to work for it.
Right.
You can learn it. You got to work. It's with anything. You got to work.
I also think that you have to have a certain spark in order to pursue a career in the industry, because it is so competitive. So you have to have something that makes you different. So I feel like if you have a more sparkly personality, it's a lot easier to make an impression on the casting director.
Yeah. And I'm thinking that everybody has something unique about them.
Right.
The main problem that everybody has is just showing it when you get into an audition. The main challenge is showing your personality, showing that spark.
Right.
And that's what gets you the role a lot of the times, especially if the role fits that personality.
Well, it's interesting. I actually sucked for things don't, man, please. Things don't come easy to me. I mean, they never have, whether it was playing sports or acting especially. First year and a half, 2 years, 3 years of my career, it's horrible. I mean, there's somebody has video footage of me actually doing a performance, and I'm telling you, horrible. But for me, if you've got a passion to do anything and you continue to work at it, you said it yourself. I mean, natural talent is still natural talent, but somebody's got to coach you. And the more that you work at something, the more persistent you are at that thing, the better you become. And so I'm at the level, you're 40 years in the game, oh my God. So for me, I consider myself, I quit saying the other day that I'm good at something. I'm not good at it, I'm great at it. And so that's the mentality that I go into the room with.
I got a question. Going back to the subject of being yourself in an audition, has there ever been a time where you haven't had enough time? I said the audition was very shorter than usual. At least 2 minutes, and you left the audition feeling like you didn't get enough time to show them who you really were. How did you feel that affected you getting the role?
Well, you know, you're pretty much going to always feel that after every audition, even when they give you enough time, because we are our worst enemy. And I know Cedric would attest to that. When you leave, it's like, dog, I should have, and you know, and so you're going to beat up on yourself. And this industry is not for you if you're going to wear your feelings on your shoulder and feel like rejection. If you have a rejection problem, then you need to get healing from that. You need to get therapy. You need to fix that up before you get into this industry, because you will feel beat down most of the time when you walk in, because again, Cedric can attest is when you walk in and you have a couple of people sitting there and you're standing up there by yourself and you give your name and you slate what they say, you give your name and your agency, and they're looking at you like, you better bring me something. And that's intimidating. I don't care if you've been in the industry and done 1,000 auditions. Every time you walk into that room and you walk away feeling that way, but you do try to do your best and then you walk away. I had an audition where my only line was, and I had to bring that line. And so I booked it, and I'm, that's what I gave them. And I wrote, and I got a call back on that and went back in and did it with a lot of other women who did the same, And it was exciting for me, and that was the role which the line didn't even get in the movie, which was Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. In fact, none of my lines got up in there, but you see me and ching ching. And
right. I was going to say, you still get a check, though, right? But you know what's interesting was the opposite of that is when you have put your best work in and you go in and you rock the room and everyone laughs or everyone cries, which recently happened to me. I mean, I got called, I flew to LA, I did my thing, everyone was on it. I came out of the room crying because I knew I had done my best. But when you're casting, you have to look at the age of the person, you have to look at the color of the person. Are they too high, too short, too fat, too skinny, so you've got to look at the other cast members. A lot of times it has nothing to do with your talent, it has to do with how the picture looks. So you can do your best, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're necessarily going to be cast all the time. So I'm in agreement that's what's for me is mine, because that's how I believe about this work. It's mine.
Right.
Anyway, all right, yo.
What are some inspirational words that you would tell a student to become an actor?
Just know that that's really what you want to do, and if you're passionate about it, you have to work it and continue to hone your skills. And I don't care how gifted you are, as my mom or dad would tell you, God rest their soul, if they were still here, that I came out of the womb acting. You know, I started in what we called in my era elementary school, which is middle school. So I was on, anytime there was something to do on stage, I was going to be on stage along with the singing and the acting, and it's in my blood, not to drop names, but I was very blessed because we have acting in our family. My brother, who's the late Cleavon Little, and if you've seen Blazing Saddles, you probably remember the sheriff. Y'all don't know nothing about that, but Cedric and a few other people. Anyway, so it's in our blood, and so I was very fortunate. But you have to continue. Education is vital. If it's acting that you want to pursue, continue to stay fresh, to take acting classes from working actors and not somebody who's done one movie and wants to charge you $1,000 for an hour session. Do your research and continue to hone it. Even at the age of 64, I'm still taking classes and still doing things to stay fresh and on top of the game.
The piece of advice I probably would give is simply find something else in entertainment that you enjoy doing and do it simultaneously. hip hop heads or rappers are now actors and actors are rappers. So find some other avenue that you have a creative outlet in and do that at the same time. One more piece of advice somebody gave me just recently was, Cedric, you need to take 3-minute monologue, make it comedic, and go do a comedy show. And that's what I've been doing, is doing comedy. Even though I can't make your producer laugh, I've been making everybody else laugh. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Another question, do you feel that, is there such thing as trying too hard? Like, say somebody wants a funny man role, they go in, try to crack a joke, and you're looking at the people who are just like, yeah, it's not funny. Is there such thing as trying too hard?
Sure. See, haven't you ever heard someone sing and they trying to hit 15,000 runs and all they need to do is just sing the American anthem? I mean, you know what I mean? Trying too hard, yes, but you have to be comfortable in your own self.
All right. Well, that was our interview. Thank you for the advice.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yes, you're welcome.
This has been the segment on the bridge.
Now, Daetrius is what we like to call a conscious rapper. He talks about what it's like growing up today, and he raps positively. So please welcome Daetrius Craig.
Chop on down, well now, raise them up a higher, let them sun go down. Whoa, I don't know the difference when the chop on. Blinded on myself, King James sit on the shelf. Look inside myself. I connected with all my from the churches to the liquor stores, working signs on the doors. We speaking sin, cause the out here in front of the Lord. The mouth was swore, but the dollars cutter can't afford. It's hard to focus, praying to the Lord for a Ford. When the pastor's in a Lamborghini, he eating his fettuccine. I eat this toothpicks like a bikini. You eating greedy if you're taking plates from the needy. You need the ties, but I'm tired of being trick-or-treated. I need a drink on a Sunday after pastor preaching. I see the reason they be catching sermons from the TV. Double click, delete me, hashtag retweet me. Now you're in the web like Peter Parker in this peepee. Mary Poppins, Poppy, just sleep with Yeezy. Trapper, died and live trying to be a Jeezy. Fake tatted like Weezy, just sicker than easy. But all my people is gods, I don't need you to teach me. Blinded on myself. King James sit on the shelf. Look inside myself. I connected with all my help. From people to gods. From people to gods. From people to gods. But all my people is gods. Just graduated and they ain't teaching my mathematics. They throw my partner POs like it's some kind of package. I need some answers, can't even find it. No college campus, living with my moms, but my loans cost a match. Cause college costs about 100 grand. So I'm popping rubber band. For my high learning, need the method man. I bust a ride, commit a crime for the dollar sign. See, it's designed to keep the color walking in the blind. I mean, dang, I got blacked off for the demons for taking me sip. A Corona mixed with lemon lime. Double click, delete me. Hashtag retweet me. I'm snapping shots while these people try and IG me. Cause Mary Poppy, just sleep with Yeezy. Trapper, died and live trying to be a G. Fake tatted like Weezy, just sicker than easy. But all my people is gods, I don't need you to teach me. Blinded on myself. King James sit on the shelf. Look inside myself. I connected with all my help. From people to gods. From people to gods. From people to gods. But all my people is gods. Time to free the isms, I free the guys. From mental prison, joining Garveyism. I made a promise without a prison. Riding through the valley of death. I feel myself, get them. I feel myself. Yeah, hut one, hut two. You still lost in the youth? Huh? This one here for you. Yeah, this one here for you. Hut one, hut two. Yeah, you still lost in the youth. This one here for you. Yeah, this one here for you.
Hello, and welcome to Code Green. My name is Dan.
And my name is Prentice. Today we're talking about school-friendly environment.
Let's get started. As we learned last time, helping to reduce the potential impact of climate change should be a priority for all of us, because climate change has already begun to affect key aspects of our lives.
That's right. We know that climate change occurs naturally over hundreds of thousands of years, but we also know that humans accelerate the process. It is up to us, the youth of our nation, to change the ways we've done these things and preserve our planet for future generations.
But how? Oh, well, how? Many ways. We can lobby our elected officials to shift to greener methods of producing energy, and we can cut down on the amount of driving we do. But we can also go green by creating more sustainable ways to live.
Yeah. Well, not to insult your suggestions, but can we do? I mean, as young adults, not many politicians will be concerned about what we think. I mean, we can't even vote.
Well, we can always get started by changing our own habits and our habits at school.
What do you mean?
Well, for starters, we can encourage schools to recycle used paper and plastic. I mean, some schools already do this, but if nobody is responsible for recycling at your school, why not do it yourself? You can start a recycling club. Get friends involved and your teachers. It helps the future in a couple of ways, actually. It protects our planet, but then it keeps it healthy, but it also helps build a resume for college.
That's interesting.
Pardon?
Oh, I was just thinking about how to start an environmental club.
Well, here's another idea. To help fund schools, sell metal water bottles. It cuts down on the number of plastic bottles used and then thrown away, and it helps raise money for clubs and it helps the environment.
Don't these all seem like little projects? Like what big things can we do?
I thought you'd ask that. Schools, if they have the space and ability, could build gardens, rain barrels, compost bins, and benches, and combine all of these to make it more, and with a sensible layout, can help create an outdoor classroom. Students could actually feel the sun on their faces for more than 5 minutes between classes.
Oh, I've read about outdoor classrooms. They increase student attentiveness, attitudes, and appropriate behavior. Another win-win scenario. It's a lot harder to fall asleep when the sun is shining on you.
Tell me about it. It's a good bit of work, but a large payoff. But thanks again for joining us for Green Code. My name is Dan.
And I'm Prentice.
See ya.
Bye. Please welcome Taylor Madison singing her own original song, Girls at 17.
You just want to put on makeup and get your GPA up and be the definition of cool in and out of school. You just want to crank up the tunes and prove to your parents you know what you're doing. And I know you want to be free, but God's got a plan, you'll see, even for girls at 17. Even for girls at 17. Even for girls at 17, teenage dream, dating the boy on the football team, having the fiercest dress at prom, or being crowned homecoming queen, stuck in our rooms like it's quarantine, looking for romance like in a movie scene, earphones stay in our ears, it's a miracle that we can still hear. You don't want anyone to check you, and rather have God just text you. You say that it's a grown-up thing, but it's not as it seems. I know you just want to put on makeup and get your GPA up and be the definition of cool in and out of school. So go ahead and crank up the tunes. And to parents, you know what you're doing, and I know you want to be free, but God's got a plan, you'll see, even for girls at 17. Even for girls at 17, yeah. Even for girls at 17, teenage years are filled with plenty laughs and tears. Think it's the end of the world when your hair won't curl, but look around, God has blessed you. Even though you hardly say thank you, know that He's there for you in the midst of all you go through. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't underestimate Did you know that you are great? Even though sometimes you may feel like a total loser, God's got a plan to give you hope and a future. So know that you're beautiful without makeup, and that you'll get your GPA up, and that you are the definition of cool if his love's all over you. So go ahead and crank up the tunes, and God always knows what he's doing. And I know you wanna be free, but God's got a plan, you'll see, even for girls at 17. Even for girls at 17. Whoa, whoa, even for girls at 17.
Yes. Thank you, Taylor, for that just wonderful performance. I think you perfectly captured what girls at 17 are like.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this edition of RPU, Responsibilities in Paying Utilities. I'm your host, Autumn, and today we're going to discuss 3 things: the importance of investing at a young age, how investing will follow you your entire life, and how investing will benefit you. Not everyone loves math, but even for those of us who don't love solving for X, or finding out just exactly how many feet of picket fence Sally should buy if her garden's perimeter is 12 by 12 feet, here's a bit of math you might enjoy. Math that makes you money. Yep, we're talking about investing. Teenagers, especially of our generation, rarely deposit a percentage of allowances, wages, birthday money, or save any money at all, actually. But why not? For some reason, it's not considered cool to invest. But why? Teenagers are simply uninformed on the matter. As teens, we are in the perfect setup to begin investing. Because we're young, our money has more time to earn interest. This brings us to the almost magical concept of compound interest. We invest an amount of money, it earns interest. Every year that money, plus the interest, grows, and grows. With compound interest, even the smallest amounts can be significant when we're older, if we start now. Isn't that nifty? Now, this isn't the only factor to consider when investing. Investments can be put into different types of holds, or investment options. The most stable and recommended forms of investment: low-risk mutual funds and exchange-rated funds, or ETFs, because the work is virtually done for us by the fund. Teens intrigued by a faster-paced, riskier form of investing might love buying stocks. Look out, though. Choosing stocks means that we have to pick and choose and buy the shares of individual companies. We can win big, but lose big also. This next part of investing is vital, yet the easiest to comprehend and the least mathematic. As teenagers who want to make money and have guaranteed financial success in the future, it's obvious that we need money to invest, so spend sparingly. If there's ever a time in life to live below our means, it's now. Establish sustainability. Instead of buying that $50 shirt, next time invest the money. It can become a benefit in the future. Well, we're out of time today. Hopefully, you're now more interested in investing, how it can benefit you incredibly. And remember, it may be all about the numbers, but this math can change a life. Happy investing.
Now that we're on our road to wealth, let's drive it a little further. We'll join financial expert and DeKalb County economics teacher, Caroline Frazier, and our pit crew to discuss finances and your future. Now, Ms. Caroline Frazier,
yes.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Alrighty.
What is the best advice that you could give a young entrepreneur like ourselves about finance?
About finance, well, you're starting out graduating from high school. This is the beginning of your financial life. Your parents are going to be giving you a little bit more leeway on what you're spending your money on, and it's time to become aware of what you're thinking and what your goals are, and to make sure that you're headed in the right direction financially.
What kind of financial goals should we set?
Well, right now it's short term. You need to be very aware of debt as far as college. It has now reached the #1 category of debt, is student debt. And I always recommend to my students that when you're in your bachelor's college career, to limit the amount of debt as much as possible, right, even if that means perhaps living at home with your parents for a few years.
Do you feel like the way you manage our money is the most important thing?
Oh, no. Money affects your life, but you need to go to college and get the education and the experience that you need, and the money will come along with that, but not the most important thing, no.
So would you say credit score is the best thing out of finance?
Well, you do need to be aware of your credit score, and as you're starting out, I'm sure you're wondering about credit cards. I know we've had a lot of bad reputation with credit cards and whether or not you should have a credit card while you're in college. A few years ago, there was a lot of abuse as far as having college students take out credit cards at football games and things like that. And they ended up with a lot of debt, more than they could handle before they even knew what happened. But you do need to get a credit score before you graduate from college, because it's hard to get a credit card once you get out of college, believe it or not.
What advice, because I know you guys probably understand, I'm trying to get a job, and what advice would you say for someone who's fresh, into the working, just starting to work, how they should plan out their money and their budget?
Okay. Well, you're going to be faced with making decisions as far as when they hand you that first paycheck. And it's real tempting to spend more than you have. And but I would recommend starting a little savings account and making sure that you're paying yourself through savings first.
So how do you guys feel about moderation in spending?
I feel like everything should be done in moderation. Nothing should be overdone. But I do feel like that you should maybe, treat yourself to what you want. Like if you want something, you can buy that, but don't overdo it. Everything should be done in moderation.
I know as a senior in high school, and I've been given an allowance for a couple of years now. It's going to be a real transition going to college after being able to eat out on the weekends and whatnot. I'm not frugal with my parents' money. I don't think anybody is, because we haven't earned it. It's just $10. But once you start working a job, and it's like you get paid $7.50 an hour, that's an hour and a half's work. So you spend a little more frugally.
So on average, with you guys' allowances, or if you have a job, how much do you save?
At least probably 10 to 20%.
Okay.
I would do it probably how I do tithes, and I'll make sure that I have something put away just in case my bills piled over more than I get paid.
The way my bank account is set up, that wasn't meant to be funny. But out of every check I get at the end of the month, $25 goes to my savings. So that's just automatic. I don't have to call in to do it. It just automatically goes $25.
Just recently, I had a birthday, so I had money. And at first thing I wanted to do was just go buy something. My mom was telling me you just got gifts. So you really just need to just save that for a time, because there's going to be one day you're going to see something, you're going to say, I want that, but I don't have the money for it. So I just basically just put any extra money away that I don't need at the time, instead of just spending it on things that...
I have a question for everybody. I know the stock market's got a risque reputation, at least with our generation. How does everybody feel about that? Does everybody think once they start making the big bucks, they're going to start just investing in banks and storing their money there, or are they going to put it in the stock market? What does everybody feel?
That's not a bad idea, but I wouldn't do it from the position I'm at. I don't have enough money to fall back on just in case the investment decreases or downfalls. I want to at least have a house or an apartment, and then making sure that my bills are paid every month before I even consider making any type of investment.
Yeah, because an investment is kind of like a gamble. So when I get my money, I'd rather put it in a bank, and my money is my money, and that's it.
How do you feel, Ms. Rager?
Well, I know as far as financial planners, they generally recommend that you have around 3 to 6 months of living expenses in your checking account or savings account or a mutual fund before you start playing stock market. But you all are young, and when you do start working, you're going to be able to invest in the stock market. It is one of the longer growth opportunities that you have for financial growth. So
would taking the stock market and invest into it, would that be a great idea, or is that a little bit
as I
too
said, as
risky?
long as you have a nest egg that's set aside to be able to handle your everyday bills for about 3 to 6 months, then yes, it's a good investment opportunity.
So what if let's say the stock market crashed again? We already have preparations for that and everything, so even if we fail, we'll still be okay?
Right, as long as you don't need to sell those stocks when they're down at the bottom, you can wait until it comes back, because the stock market does go up and down a lot.
Okay.
Have you guys ever heard of CDs, like as in like investing?
She does.
Wait, CDs?
Yeah, yeah.
Like CDs basically like you put your money away, like they say that they'll have a certain percentage that they'll add to it, so like over time it'll just like double. I was thinking like I want to start a bank account with a CD, and like, do you have any advice on like how to go about that process?
Right, a CD is a certificate of deposit that you can get at your bank, and the one thing that I would caution you is if you do invest in CDs, be sure that you don't need that money before that CD matures. They usually have a time period, 3 to 6 months or a year, which is a wonderful opportunity to earn a little bit more interest than a regular savings account. But you do get penalized if you need that money prior to when it matures. So that would be my word of caution, but they're certainly safe investments, much more safe than the stock market.
Is that kind of like a savings bond?
It's very similar to a savings bond, yes.
So I know we're all quite young here, but one thing I've always heard about, it's never too early to think about retirement. And so I've heard that if people start saving in their 20s, that's when they're really well set. So, Ms. Fraser, what do you have to say to us on that front?
Oh, absolutely. The sooner that you start saving, even if it's just a little bit, for your retirement, the better off you're going to be. And particularly if you're working with a company that is a matching a retirement plan, that maybe 3% they'll match whatever you save. That is a wonderful opportunity. And the sooner you start saving, you have that compounding interest that grows your money, and you end up with something when you get to 65 or 70, whenever. Well, I would start saving as soon as you get your first professional job.
I know that I think maybe we're all taking economics now. So what is the one thing that we should take with us from economics, the most important thing?
Well, I think to be a knowledgeable and to question, if anything else, is to question what you're hearing on the news and to be aware of what's going on around you. There's a lot of decisions that are being made right now in Washington and will be made over the next 4 years while you go through college that will affect you for the rest of your adult life. So you need to be conscientious consumers of the news and to be active politically, if you can, in interest groups and political action groups, so that you know that Washington is moving in the direction that you as a generation are going to need it to move.
So one scary part of the financial world that I always hear about is the debt, the deficit. So what do we as young voters, do you think everyone here need to be aware of when it comes to the debt deficit?
Well, it's very large. Right now, our debt is over $17 trillion, and it will need to be paid. It's a large problem, and it's going to grow. Right now, our economy is not growing at the rate, or the unemployment rate is still very high, which means the tax revenues are not coming in for the federal government, which means the deficits are going to be larger, and the debt will be larger. But we need to make some long-term, when I say we, you as a generation and Washington, we're going to need to make some sacrifices. We're going to perhaps look at the entitlement programs of Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, what kind of adjustments need to be made so that we can live up to those obligations, but yet still have something to invest in the future, which is going to be your generation. You really need to. You really need to.
That was very interesting. I didn't know we owed that much. Like, it's crazy because, like, you hear people in other countries, like, talking about America and how, you know, it's like the promised land, like, with money and stuff like that. But it was just interesting. And I just want to thank you for sharing that information.
So at what age would you say someone should get their first job? And what would you recommend it to be?
Well, as far as, how many of you already hold part-time jobs? How many are already working? Fine. It's hard to do, isn't it? Yeah, especially now. Yeah. Well, it you know, while you're in college, you're going to want to focus on your education first, but it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of work experience under your belt. I know it certainly helps with resumes. So consider carefully internships, and if you can get a paid internship, that would be wonderful. I know those are few and far between, but work experience always looks good on the resume.
Well, Ms. Frazier, we want to thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Everybody thank Ms. Frazier.
Thank you. Thanks.
This has
Good
been
luck.
the Finance in Your Future on the Bridge.
Hey there, I'm Kelly French Parker from Southwest DeKalb High School, and this is Parenting 101. Here's a letter from one of our parents. I don't want to be a pest of a parent. I always say that when I have children, I would be a cool parent that gives my kids space. Like when I went to school, my mother would go through my diary. She said she trusted me, but she was concerned sometimes I hung out with the wrong crowd. Now, I find myself wanting to snoop around my child's bedroom when she's not at home. In fact, there are times I want to look at her text messages. Okay, I have. And I feel horrible about it. I know my 16-year-old is a great girl. She's smart, works hard in school, and really hasn't given me a problem. But we don't talk like we used to, and I just want to make sure she's okay. How do I respect my daughter's privacy and make sure she's safe too? Any advice would be appreciated. Signed, Pesty Parent. That is a great question, and it seems that your main problem is a lack of communication with your child. I think a great way to rebuild that connection is maybe just setting aside a time that fits both of your schedules to have a girls' day or spend time together. Maybe go to the spa, go shopping, something you both like to do so that you can rebuild that connection and you can learn about her life without snooping. Hope that helps. Once again, I'm Kelly French Parker for Parenting 101.
Between 1995 and 2011, immediate college enrollment rates increased for whites 65 to 69%, for blacks 53 to 65%, and Hispanic 52 to 63. High school completers, the immediate college enrollment rates for both males and females increased between 1975 and 2011. The rate for males increased from 53 to 65%, and the rates for females from 49 to 72%. The enrollment pattern has shifted over time to higher enrollment rates for females than for males. Choices to make post-secondary schools, community colleges, private colleges, universities, vocational and trade schools, public colleges and universities, liberal arts colleges, workforce, work, join the military, apprenticeship, volunteer. So, you all, what are you guys doing to prepare after high school?
Hi, Caleb.
Hi.
I think that in high school, it's always good to know what college that you already want to go to.
True.
So for myself, I know what college I want to attend, so I've already started doing my research, what SAT scores I'm going to need, what ACT scores I'm going to need, how much room and board is going to cost, because that's important too.
Okay, that was a good point. Now, you said you should know when you're entering high school. Like, what grade do you think, you need to know, it's time, I need to buckle down?
I would say your junior year.
You
need to know what college you want to go to, what career you're trying to enter.
I agree. What about you all? What are you doing after high school?
Well, I think she made a good point in, knowing what you want to do. But I think even if you don't, you should equip yourself and have a lot of extracurricular activities and a variety of sorts. So whatever you end up being interested in, you're prepared, and colleges can see that.
Right, so you don't think there's any right or wrong choice after high school? Like choices like the military, trade school, maybe just going to work. There's no right or wrong, right?
It's whatever fits the person.
Cool. So what about you after high school? What's up?
Well, I was thinking that to get prepared for college, I was thinking you need to take as many rigorous classes that you can find. You need to stay involved in your community for those hours, you know. You need to work towards your specific SAT goal, which also goes along with researching what your desired college requires. And I really think that that looking out for different college opportunities like scholarships and stuff is really helpful. Like me, I go look around on the internet for a lot of college problems, and I just recently went to a college fair, and I got a lot of information from different colleges, and it was so helpful to the point that I've almost set what college I want to go to. Yeah.
Right. So you're like, what I got from that is that you're saying it's not all about your grades.
No,
basically, it's about volunteering in the community.
Yes.
You need to get down and do the research for yourself and make sure you know where the money is coming from to pay for college, right?
Yes, definitely.
Right. So about college, anything you guys like worried about, like after high school? Like, how are you so sure is college the right choice?
I feel like college would be the right choice for me because I'm a hard worker. I have good work ethic. I can't just sit at home and do nothing. So I feel like the next step for me is going to have to be college because I have to be always doing something. So.
Okay. What about you?
Well, I think because I know what I want to be when I grow up, and I know what I want to do in life, and I know that for my career, college is the right path to go. College is the path to get there. And so that's how I know college is right for me.
Okay, but like hard workers, what do you say, like what's the type of person that you think should go into the workforce right after high school instead of just going to college?
Well, I think if you're going to go to college and get a degree, then you use that degree, and if you don't need that degree, then you can enter the workforce.
Cool. Yeah, I like all of what you said. This is Kayla, and this has been What's the Move?
Please welcome one of our own producers singing Crash and Burn, Summer.
I can almost see it in your eyes. You're barely holding on, but the you I know is deep inside. Is struggling to be strong enough to make it through another day. Wipe the tears away, it's all okay. Know that you are never alone. 'Cause I won't let you crash and burn. I'll be here till the end, holding on until you learn just what lies within. There's a fighter there to help you through all of life's changes. Even if the pain is there, I won't let you crash and burn. Know that sometimes life can be so hard. Don't let it pass you by. Keep your head up, you're the one in charge. Take the pen and write the latest chapter in your destiny. Whatever you're going through, I'm here for you. Know that you are never alone. 'Cause I won't let you crash and burn. I'll be here till the end, holding on until you learn just what lies within. There's a fighter there to help you through all of life's changes. Even if the pain is there, I won't let you crash and burn. Even when the walls are crashing all around you, just know that you are strong enough and you will make it through. Take control and keep your head up, you're in charge. Just know it'll work out fine. You're gonna be alright. 'Cause I won't let you crash and burn. I'll be here till the end, holding on until you learn just what lies within. There's a fighter there to help you through all of life's changes. Even if the